Damn! That's a lot of games!
What's going on, everyone? This is going to be a somewhat of a collection update video. My entire Switch collection, I'm 99% sure this is my entire Switch collection that was brought over to me from my hometown, and it came in that big old box. So, yeah, I've bought a lot more Switch games ever since I moved here, but these are the games that I left behind and I didn't see for pretty much 2 years. I haven't seen these games. Actually, I had an added bonus here that I had completely forgotten. In this big old box came a couple systems that I had completely forgotten I had packed. Let's go in chronological order here. I got my Game Boy Advance SP. Wow, check this thing out. It's in pretty good shape. The only thing that is wrong with this, to be honest with you, is when you close the clamshell, I think there has been some friction going on here because like the paint is slightly worn off here on the hinges. Not sure if you can see that. You can barely tell. And I shaved off the serial number from the back. It is unfortunately not a 101 model. It is just the 001. And inside, what game do we have? Tetris Worlds. Pretty vanilla Tetris game. Good stuff. So that was a surprise. Now I can play some Game Boy Advance games. And I can also play some Game Boy Advance games on my Nintendo DS Lite. I traded in my Nintendo DS, the fat one, for this guy when it came out. And I think at the time I thought this was also just a software upgrade, not so much, not just a hardware upgrade, but I was wrong. It's just a sleeker design, way sleeker. Has, you know, it's very prone to fingerprints, which is the downer to this system. A little cartridge cover. And what game do I have here? It is Metal Slug 7. Look at that. I wish I could have put a Bangai-O Spirits instead, but I wasn't pre-planning, I guess. This thing is also in tip-top shape. Very nice. Very nice. I dropped it a million years ago and kind of scuffed it on the side, so that's the only defect. You can't really make it out here, but I think I buffed it out a little bit. So yeah, I have these two to join me. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the games that I traveled with in this little travel case for my Nintendo Switch. I was trying to pack light and at the same time pack as many things as I could when moving up here. So all these slots were filled out with cartridges, and the game cases I left back home because they were unnecessary bulk. But Super Smash is the only one that I still have in here. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So the games that were in that little carrying case are these that I have since then recouped the cases for. Mario Kart Deluxe 8, we all know how good this game is. It's been around for a while. There is talks about a new entry into the series. Some industry insiders said that there's going to be a big twist in the next one. I'm not going to speculate too much, but
can we get some Samus? Let's get some Samus as a playable character.
That'd be super sweet. So yeah, this is a must-have, one of my favorite entries in the series. Shout out to Black Yoshi. Moving on. Super Mario Maker 2. I got the case back for this guy. I haven't played this iteration nearly as much as I played part 1 on the Wii U, but this is essential and it has some very nice additions that were not included in the first version. So awesome, awesome game. A very active community. No particular order, again. I had brought with me on my travels Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This has a reversible cover here. So we got Funky Kong, which is an easy mode. Like you just don't die. You can't fall in the pitfalls in this game when you choose Funky Kong. So very family friendly. That's when Nintendo was taking that initiative. This is the just the stock cover, but I want it to be just a little bit different, except that the back looks extremely funky. And yeah, not sure how I feel about the back, but the front is super cool. So I just kind of switched it up. Let me know what kind of collector you are. Do you keep the stock image, or if there's a reversible cover, do you use that? Thankfully, it retains the spine, so you could read what game it is. Oh, I almost forgot. This game is phenomenal. It's really, really great. When Nintendo tried to revamp the Donkey Kong Country series, the first one being Donkey Kong Country Returns, which you can also get on the 3DS. That game was awesome. I have it on Wii, and this one is even better. Tight platforming, it's difficult, it's merciless, but it's extremely satisfying. There's some awesome speedrun opportunities. Yes, the game that I have yet to beat still, because I'm trying to get through the DLC so I can fully power my Master Sword before beating up Ganondorf. What else can I say about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild besides it being an extremely awesome open world game? Very nice. Nintendo hit it out of the park with this game. Another one of my favorites. I packed this game because it has endless replay value in my opinion, and it has a lot of post-release additions and DLC. They put a lot of love into this game. It is a roguelite, and it is extremely awesome. I love me some Dead Cells. I come back to this game every now and then just because it's awesome. It's just really, really cool. I highly recommend this game if you're into the whole randomized dungeons and, you know, roguelites. Another game I brought with me, without the case initially, Sega Genesis Classics. Over 50 classic games. This game is so sweet.
Obviously, over 50 classic games, and
I brought this one with me solely because I was going to be like, alright, I need a bunch of games to hold me over until I recoup my entire gaming museum. This one's got over 50, so it should, in theory, keep me busy for quite a long time. Has some classic beat-em-ups, a bunch of, you know, retro games, obviously, since this is the Sega Genesis, and that is my bread and butter. So yeah, sweet pickup. If you see this, nab it.
Wargroove.
Wargroove is a very difficult Advance Wars style game, but it's like the medieval version of Advance Wars. I highly recommend this game as well. I got pretty about midway through it, but man, this game just beat me up and spat me back out because it's just really tough, but it's awesome. If you like Advance Wars, you gotta get this game. This one actually comes with a lot of stuff in it. So you got some stickers, you got a map in case you get lost, and then, I'm gonna blur out whatever code that might have been because I haven't used it yet. And it has a full color strategy guide. I'm not gonna take it out of the case. Can't be bothered right now. But yeah, this game is sweet. I believe this is my first Monster Hunter game, and it is one of the games with the most monsters in it, I think. The most complete index of monsters. You have Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. I believe this is some sort of port that made its way onto the Switch. Graphics aside, this is just your classic Monster Hunter game, and it's really cool. I got into it a good bit, I sure did, but kind of left it behind, and then I may have actually gotten this after I got Monster Hunter World. That was my very first Monster Hunter game, and I was like, all right, I gotta check out all the other entries, or maybe not all of them because there's like a trillion of them, but it sparked my interest in this series. And yes, Monster Hunter Rise is amazing. It's fantastic. I've talked about it before. It's better in this one. This is more classic style, and Rise started adopting more of that seamless open world per habitat feel. And yeah, Rise is just a much better game in my opinion, but this is good stuff too. Had to bring with me a little multiplayer action with Splatoon 2 here. This is a smash hit from Nintendo. A massive community that adores this game. I fell in love with part 1. I remember I was studying for my LSAT, but instead I was actually playing Splatoon part 1 because that game was so incredibly innovative, and just the concept was so novel at the time that I was having a blast with the game, and the ink physics, it all looks great, extremely colorful. It can get pretty competitive, but at the same time it will always have that playful nature that you don't really get too salty when you play this game. At least I don't, okay? And yeah, super awesome. It has a salmon run, which is like a zombies mode for this game. Super sweet, but I didn't play it as much as I played part 1. Again, this has a lot of the maps of the old game, so this is kind of a complete package here. I still don't have the Octo expansion for it, but I do plan on getting it. I haven't beaten the story mode in part 1 or 2 yet, actually. So add that to my to-do list. All these games really are items on my to-do list, and one that I remember I was so foolish back then. I was like, hey, let's play Mega Man 11. Let's try and beat that. I think this game is tough. Pretty sure it is. I don't think I've beaten a single boss in this game. But Mega Man 11, this is a solid entry into the series. It's a legitimate entry into the series, because I know there's some spin-offs or some games that didn't hit quite right, but this is a good one. This is definitely a good one. Let's see if they gave it any love. No, just some advertisement for the Legacy Collections, Mega Man X Legacy Collections, which you'll see here in a bit as well. Mega Man 11. The Blue Bomber. This is a game that I have beat, and THQ Nordic, these guys are publishers that release some revitalized games that were brought back from the dead, or just some peculiar one-off series games that are quality titles, really. And Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered is a solid game. I love this game so much. The destruction, the chaos, it's stuff that you can truly only find in this game. And this was a port from an older game, but, you know, remastered, obviously. And I played this game start to finish. I'm pretty sure I did most of the side missions. That's how much I loved it. Just honestly, if you have... If you want to play like a third-person open world with a lot of destruction and action, just ridiculous action, I can't recommend this game enough. I honestly can't give this game enough praise. It's super, super awesome, and I'm happy to have beaten this game
at some point in my life,
because it's quite the experience. Really, really awesome. Love it. Here's another game that I have beaten, but not like 200%ed. The Darker Side of the Moon. I'm not done with it yet. Sorry, spoilers. Super Mario Odyssey is a stellar 3D platformer. Of course, you can't expect anything less from Nintendo when it comes to their flagship Mario titles. and this is another one. This is an awesome, awesome title. Lots of moons to collect, lots of environments. It's extremely colorful and fun. Yeah, this is a must-have title on the Switch, and that's why I brought it with me. Got a couple more games that were missing their cases and have been reconsolidated. Hollow Knight. This game is super awesome. Again, I know I keep saying it, but that's why I brought them. I brought all these games because I knew that I was going to be playing them with or without their precious game cases. Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania and a very unique art style and very visceral combat, I would say. Awesome game. If you're into Metroidvanias, this game is for you. And the environments are very nicely detailed. It's got a great, unique atmosphere. You're this Bugbert, apparently, and you do stuff. You do all sorts of stuff, and the bosses are huge and ridiculous. The combat is so intense. This version of the game actually includes 4 giant content packs, which is cool. And it did come with like a little thing here. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's a map of the game world. Sure, heck, let's open it up so you can kind of visualize how big the map is. It's quite large. Look at that. It's a lot of stuff to backtrack and explore. Good stuff here. There is an instruction manual, as you can see, as well. I love these physical releases that still pour a lot of heart into the packaging and all that stuff. This one has a reversible cover as well. I took off the little sticker that came on the cellophane because it had some neato artwork on there that I did not want to throw away. I'm trying to stand up and my foot is cramping. Look at that. Those are the expansion packs included. So yeah, good stuff. And last but certainly not least, this is the other game that came without its case to my new home. Dark Souls Remastered. I mean, come on. This series has been gaining so much traction in the past, what, decade already? Jeez, it's been a while. But if you haven't played a Dark Souls game and you have a Switch, go ahead and pick this up. Give it a shot. It's amazing. It's super difficult but rewarding. Love me the Soulsborne series now, since Bloodborne is in the mix, and I'm actually really excited for Elden Ring. I know a lot of the fans or just the public is kind of concerned that they're taking the Souls formula and they're putting it into an open world environment, but I have faith in whatever From Software is trying to do. It looks great. I think it's going to be a good game. Maybe not your traditional Souls game, but it's going to borrow a lot of ideas, obviously, from these games. So this one comes with the DLC, and yeah, super cool game. I got really far into this one, but I'm stuck on some bosses, and I have since moved on to other games. But yeah, I'm gonna continue playing this one. So that does it for the games that came in here. Now comes the other part of that giant box of games that I hadn't seen in so long. No particular order. I'm gonna try and just keep it random, but maybe there's gonna be a few that are gonna be in some sort of order. Let's start out with Diablo 3, the Eternal Collection. What I like about this game is that it comes with the exclusive Ganondorf armor set. So that's pretty sweet. You can dress up your character to look like Ganondorf. I've played this online with my buddy Danny, so shout out to Danny. We gotta keep playing this game some more. It's super sweet. Yeah, Diablo. Another very well-known game that has come out on every single console at least 3 times. Pretty much, yeah, that describes Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. I mean, who hasn't played this game? I've played this game. I've played in VR. VR Skyrim is actually amazing. And I brought that version along with me as well when I moved up here. But this one includes Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn, which are the expansion packs for the game. Having it portably is really nice. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it too much because everyone knows what Skyrim is all about. I haven't beaten that game. Next up, sealed, we have Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. I think this is part 1. Part 2 is Revenant Kingdom, and I have that on PS4. But here's part 1. It's like a JRPG game. Not much to say about it besides I know this is a beloved series by like a couple of dudes out there. This is a pretty peculiar title, and you're gonna see a lot of Team 17 on this video. I think I'm a big fan of this publisher as well. They put out some good stuff. Yoku's Island Express. Just take that in for a second. Check out the bug burt, okay? Check out the colors. It's very appealing.
You're this little bug burt.
And you're rolling around like a ball, like maybe a poop ball or something. You're like a dung beetle. And you have this big Metroidvania-esque map. But it's all like a giant pinball game. So that's how you traverse through the map. With paddles and stuff. And you gotta aim the little ball to progress where you want to go. So that's an extremely unique premise, and I needed to pick this game up. I'm not sure how difficult it is to find nowadays, but I remember I had to go to a few different GameStops to find it, and I was really glad that I remembered that one of those establishments had a single copy left, and I was lucky to get it. Cool game. I need to get back into it.
Maybe I'll stream it.
Ah, yes. New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe! This game originally came out on the Wii U, and I beat the crap out of that game. It was awesome. Loved it. Very standard 2D Mario platforming action. Nothing too crazy or anything. And this game, I'm not... what does it add? I think the Super Crown is a new thing, which is like some power up, and it does include the Super Mario or Super Luigi Bros. U content, which came in a standalone release or as DLC back in the day in a really cool green case. I have that one too. But yeah, by the way, if you're frustrated with this game's jumping mechanic, because I believe if you like press a button in midair, your character does a little spin and it's inadvertent half the time, you got to look up the cheat code online to disable that. It's like this weird main menu button combination that you have to press to oddly disable that inconvenient double jump mechanic thing that they put in the game. But yeah, you could totally fix that, and solid Mario platformer. Nothing too crazy, just extremely Mario stuff here. Standard Mario stuff. These couple games are games that I must get back into. I'm gonna bring out both right here. We got Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap, and Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. These are old school games that were re-released on the Nintendo Switch. I have the alternate cover here because, again, it looked pretty cool. Oh man, lots of goodies in this one. It comes with like a little a dragon keychain. Oh, that's upside down. I was doing this for a half hour. There you go. You like it? That's pretty sweet. A little sticker that I took off the cellophane. That comes. This actually comes with one one of those GameCube discs. Look at that. Little disc. So yeah, this is the original soundtrack sampler. A lot of love.
Nicalis
is the publisher for this game. And they do some stuff, and we got an instruction booklet, but this is what the actual retail cover looks like. So if you see this game out in the wild, I highly suggest you pick it up. It comes, it has this really neat mechanic where like you can be playing the game and press like the shoulder buttons in conjunction or something like that, and it reverts the remastered style into its retro style on command. Like you can revert to whichever aesthetic you prefer, which is really cool. Action platformer games. Adventure action platformer games. Monster Boy came out after this release. And then we have Asha in Wonder World or something, which is the third, to my knowledge, game to come out on the Switch that is related to this universe. The visuals are extremely vivid and vibrant. Really good stuff. If you like some retro style action platformer adventure games, do yourself a favor. I can't praise these games enough. They're so stylish and nice. Another game that's pretty stylish is Yoshi's Crafted World. I love Yoshi a lot, and this game is just full of charm. You see Poochie and everything's made out of like arts and crafts. A lot of love got put into this game. I think it's a decent game from what I've heard. That's what the critics are saying. I haven't actually played it myself because you know me, but a game that I did play and that I will recommend till forever is Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U, and I believe that remains an exclusive on the Wii U. It's one of the few Wii U exclusives that has not been ported over to the Switch yet, but man, that game is amazing. It's like Super Mario World 2, the one with Baby Mario and Yoshi and the aiming shoot your egg mechanic. Woolly World has that stuff, and the visuals are amazing. But anyways, I'm supposed to be talking about this game. I don't know much about it besides it being kind of okay. And Yoshi. Yoshi, gosh darn crafted Yoshi in Super Smash Bros. Took the palette swap of Black Yoshi, which is a huge injustice to my boy Black Yoshi because no one cares about this palette swap. Bring back Black Yoshi. Super Street Fighter 2 Ultra, the final challengers. This game is exactly what it says it is, and I needed to have some sort of Street Fighter game on my Switch, and this is probably the best one because later I'm going to bring out a very crappy Street Fighter that's on the Switch. This is the one that you want to get. And for the first time in 12,000 years, they included Evil Ryu and Violent Ken. Wow, it's just like Ryu and Ken with slightly different movesets, and like they put like a filter over their palette, their color palette. But yeah, this is, you know, but Street Fighter. You could also change the style here from remastered visuals to the classic 16-bit. So that's a nice touch. Awesome tunes, we all know those. Here is a very cool game. This is Windjammers from Limited Run. Color manual, of course, because it is on Limited Run. You have all sorts of stuff. It's a very cheesy 80s style Frisbee battle game. This game is more of a fighting game than some sort of like, it's like, think of a fighting game combined with tennis That's essentially what it is. You can write some notes here if you want, but you're gonna want a second player to play this game competitively with, so that you can have some intense matches between your friends or your siblings. Really, really cool game. I do recommend this one. A Hat in Time! One of those games that tried reviving the 3D platforming genre, and I believe it did a stellar job at it. You can find this one on PS4, and I think that version might be better, but I just feel like these sorts of games suit the Switch a lot more, so that's why I got it here. And also, there's just something about the packaging and the smaller cases that make me want to buy Switch games, and that's why I think the Switch is the game console with the most games that I own. So yeah, something about Nintendo products and just the collectability that comes with them goes hand in hand. But yeah, this is supposed to be a really awesome game. I played it briefly. Just sweet to have these games on the big screen or portably. A lot of people really love this game. And I believe it comes with Seal the Deal. It does come with Seal the Deal, which is the DLC. So that's always really nice. A Hat in Time, check it out. This game I kind of cheated in including, I guess, in this video, but essentially I bought Blasphemous digitally back when I was in my hometown, and I played it for a good bit. Team 17 is the publisher, so you know how I feel about those guys. Shout out to Worms. I'm the best Worms player in the world, and I love Worms so very much. So these guys are releasing some cool stuff. When it came out physically, I'm like, yeah, I need to get that. This is the Deluxe edition, so it includes some stuff, but since I already have it digitally, I think this guy's just going to remain sealed for the rest of eternity, even though the Deluxe edition includes a map, some stickers, digital soundtrack, like a digital comic or something, digital art book, a numerique. I don't know what a numeric is. What? I don't know. I have no idea, but it comes with some stuff that I think I can go without. That's fine. No actual like DLC. This is a tough game. It is a action platformer, very dark and Dark Souls-like visuals, like gothic and bloody. That's why it's rated M here. It's a tough game. But anyways, I had it digitally a long time ago. When the physical edition came out, I grabbed it, and yeah. Here's the Street Fighter game that you guys should probably stay away from, or maybe, who knows, maybe they updated it or something. But this is Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. So actually this game comes with 10 million Street Fighter games, as you see here. 12 of them, I guess.
Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2, again, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Edition, Super Street Fighter The New Challengers, Super Street Fighter Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter 3 New Generation. This is Street Fighter 3 Second Impact Giant Attack, and Third Strike, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Jeez, it comes with a lot of them, okay, and I think they're all emulated poorly. Next up, we got another limited run games that I actually picked up at Best Buy. So if you're looking for limited run games, Best Buy does carry some of them, and they have alternate cover arts than the ones that you would get from the actual distributor online. So that's a neat thing. And when I came across this and I saw limited run, I was like, I'm gonna get Toe Jam and Earl back in the groove. This is a super weird game. I played it once with my brother. We didn't really know what we were doing. We were eating hot dogs and going through elevators, and there's like weird stuff happening all over the place. It comes with an awesome reversible art that kind of pays tribute to the Genesis packaging from back in the day, because this was a Genesis title years ago. And a full color instruction manual. Look at that. This might have like 10 different languages in it, but I've never opened this bad boy. It's just has all sorts of stuff. Maybe if I have a couple days to read the entire thing, I'll figure out what I'm actually supposed to do in this game. Another sealed game, and this is also from Best Buy, even though it's limited run. Transistor. This game I kind of confuse with, like, Hyper Light Drifter and some other game that kind of looks like it. But it's supposed to be awesome and critically acclaimed. Some sort of isometric view action game. I don't know much about it. You're this chick and you have a sword and you slash stuff and you have a good time. Don't really ask me why I got this, but I have Trine, the Ultimate Collection. I guess I got it because it's these collection games. I'm a sucker for these. This one includes Trine, Enchanted Edition, so there you already have the first entry with probably like the Ultimate Edition of it. Same goes for Trine 2 and 3. They're the complete story and, what does that say? The Artifacts of Power, respectively. Those are the subtitles for those two. And then Trine 4, The Nightmare Prince. Includes bonus content. You know, something that gets me nowadays is that if I'm ever out video game shopping and I see either like at secondhand stores or just like old video games in general, when they're like the collection editions, I just cross my fingers really hard that it's all baked onto the disc or the cartridge and not come with like some sort of code that may expire or may have already been used if it's a used game, and then you're not really buying the complete edition of said game. So this one, I believe it did come with some sort of code or it triggered a download when I inserted the cartridge. So those are all nice and safe, saved on my Switch. If you didn't know, this is like a cooperative puzzle-solving platforming game. So 3 friends get together, have a good time, or maybe bots can control some of the characters. Chugging along, we still have some titles to go. Another Nicalis published game. This is It'll Do 2 Plus. This is a top-down Zelda-like, essentially. Very quirky. The visuals are kind of like Adult Swim / Cartoon Network, tongue-in-cheek humor, but it's funny. I got into it a bit, and then lots of puzzle solving and you know, battles as well. Has nice action in it. This thing also came with some goodies. So these Nicalis games, it looks like a lot of them come with the stickers on the cellophane that you would tear off, but I try and salvage them and I'll put them on like the stuff that comes with it. So this is like a map for the game, and it comes with its full color manual as well. Good stuff. Good stuff. It'll Do 2 Plus. I'm not sure if there's a third entry, but for sure there's number 1. Ah, yes! Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This includes the Pixel Pack with 8 unique weapons, published by Ubisoft, actually. Ubisoft. Potato, potato. This game, I have a very distinct memory. Oh god, might need to... No, I've already redeemed that code. But anyways, this is a turn-based action game with Mario and Rabbids. Yeah, so it's like a strategy game, and it is really, really good. I got really far into it as well, and I abandoned it, as I do with so many titles, but I'm going to change that. And one day I'm going to go back to all these games that I put a lot of progress in, and I'll actually beat them. But part 2 is coming out, and it's supposed to be really awesome. This game has like some Donkey Kong DLC, which is supposed to be really sweet. So be on the lookout for this game in part 2. This game is actually hilarious. Yeah, there's like this giant, I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a giant rabbit that's supposed to be like a Donkey Kong cameo, and it's hilarious. There's some good humor in here, and it's actually quite a deep game. Lots of collecting to do as well. Really fun, really fun. I do recommend this one as well, if you're into those turn-based Final Fantasy Tactics type deals. Another Nicalis title, actually. Tiny Barbarian DX. Very retro style pixel-like game. Can't tell you if it's 16-bit. I would assume it is. Don't know much about it. Action platformer. I just got it because it was a Nicalis title, and I don't know, the cover art was pretty sweet, so I picked this game up. And it has a reversible one. It's a little bit more cartoony, I guess, than this guy. So, yeah. We got Wild Guns Reloaded from Natsume. This used to be a very... Was it a rare? No, Sunset Riders is rare on the Super Nintendo, but this was a Super Nintendo title as well, and I don't know why I've been seeing ads for those limited run companies that are releasing physical games, like producing batches of this, even though I got this thing like 10 million years ago. I don't know what the deal is behind there, but this game is pretty sweet. It's kind of like a shooting gallery type deal. You're like on the foreground and you're aiming a cursor and dodging enemy bullets and that sort of stuff, like the steampunk cowboy setting. And this game, since it's reloaded, it comes with some extra playable characters, one of which is like a wiener dog, I think. So that's pretty cool. Really fun to play with friends, couch co-op, so that they can help you out because the game is pretty challenging as well. My friend Pedro, Blood, Bullets, Bananas from Devolver Digital. I love Devolver Digital. They're very edgy and their marketing campaigns are hilarious and gory and super awesome, super transparent in my opinion, and how they try and portray the video game industry and how they use that to advertise their games. So this game doesn't really have to do much with a banana, to my knowledge. I still have it sealed, so it has like its stuff. It includes stickers, posters, reversible cover, blah blah blah, download code for the official soundtrack, and it's just supposed to be a action platforming shoot 'em up type deal with some awesome slow-mo mechanics, and you're this dude wielding weapons and being ultra violent and traversing through enemy-ridden levels with obstacles, and it's supposed to be pretty sweet. I played it for a bit. Some of the gameplay is very varied, so you'll be on foot in one segment and then on a motorcycle chase in another, with explosions going off and your shotgun, dual wield a shotgun, and all sorts of cool stuff. Good stuff right here. Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age, the Definitive Edition S by Square Enix. I want to get into this game eventually. I don't know when I'll get around to it. Maybe after this next batch of games that I'm working on, which is like 7 or so. This is a ginormous JRPG. I played the demo. Gorgeous visuals. Everyone praises this game. It's supposed to be awesome, and I think this is like the most complete edition that you can possibly get. I mean, just check out that title. And again, this is a game that you can play with the modern aesthetic as well as the retro 16-bit visuals, which is super sweet. Dragon Quest. I've never played a Dragon Quest game. I know. I'm not much of a JRPG guy, but I do have a very high appreciation for them, and I want to get into this one at some point. Yeah, this guy's in Super Smash. Dragon Quest is ginormous in Japan. I believe this was my first limited run games that I purchased directly from Best Buy, and this is Golf Story. It's supposed to be about a lot more than just golf, I've heard. It's like an RPG, and golf is kind of like in the background, but you do a lot of other stuff, and a lot of people like this game as well. Don't know much else about it besides just those things that I mentioned, and it's supposed to be just a cool game, so maybe one day I'll check it out, or just keep it sealed for the rest of eternity. New Super Lucky's Tale. This is a 3D platforming collectathon game, and it was supposed to be one of the Xbox One's exclusives, and this game, this title here, was supposed to showcase how amazing the Xbox One was, and I don't think they hit their target demographic in trying to sell the system with a cute little fox. And then it eventually made its way over to the Switch, so I was like, oh yeah, sign me up. 3D platforming collectathon? Let's get it on this console. I think it's decent. These 3D platformers. Ukulele, one of Limited Run's first releases, maybe? This was really supposed to be a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. I believe a lot of the former Rareware staff came together and were like, let's bring back 3D platformers. And they squirted out Ukulele, which is... it has its fans and it has its haters. I played it briefly. It's, it feels archaic in a charming way. No complaints here. So, oh yeah, Team 17 has something to do with it, even though it says limited run. So not really sure what's going on there, but you'll kind of hear that Ukulele and the Impossible Lair, which is the sequel, is supposed to be a lot better. This game has a lot more in common with games like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze than it does with, I don't know, we'll say like any 3D platformer. Because this one, I believe, is a 2D platformer. I may be disgustingly incorrect on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. I'm like 85% sure that it's a 2D platformer, but the overworld is like a 3D platformer, and there's some like slight puzzles and stuff to do in the overworld, but the meat and potatoes, the really delicious, delectable meat and potatoes, is supposed to be in the 2D platforming levels, because that's the main course here. And I heard this game was really, really good, surprisingly. So I don't know if I'll play them in sequence, but if I don't, I might just dive into this one and disregard the first one. Maybe I should play both. Let me know. What are your experiences with the two? Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. So this Shovel Knight from Yacht Club Games includes just Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope, which is the standard. Shovel Knight, Plague of Shadows, which has Plague Knight. Sorry if I'm off screen here. I'm just trying to read tiny text here. You can stare at Mario meanwhile. Wobble around there. But Shovel Knight, Spectrum of Torment, maybe, it has a Spectre Knight. And Shovel Knight, King of Cards, which has King Knight. And then this game also includes Shovel Knight Showdown, which is like a 2D Super Smash-like thing. I don't need to say much about Shovel Knight. A lot of people know what this game is about. It's supposed to be a really cool platformer, 16-bit platformer. I've played it a little bit, not too much. Haven't gotten into it, but this might be a good stream. I'm very late to that party, but I need to experience this game. I have the original release still sealed on my Wii U, so I'll probably open this guy up and see what it contains. Next up are a couple games that I will not open up and will remain sealed for the rest of eternity. I have Tetris 99. My beautiful wife gave me this as a gift because I didn't want to spend $30 on a free digital download, which I already had. But I thought, hey, like, maybe this game is going to be rare, because who would buy this and keep it sealed? So, yeah, serial killer pickup for sure. Another serial killer pickup is Tiny Troopers Joint Ops XL, and it includes the zombie campaign. So I heard this game, which is still sealed, had a very limited print run, and my local Walmart had like one copy of it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna jump on it. And I think it's supposed to be like a decent top-down shooter type deal. Digitally, I think you can get it for very cheap. So if I ever really, really, really wanted to play it, I could just keep this sealed and buy it digitally. Or who knows, not me, but it has this weird cutesy aesthetic to it. I don't know. Seems neat. Sure, I picked it up just to collect it, really. Doom on Switch. Even though I had this for PS4, this was a birthday gift from my brother just because I wanted to have a game with the visual fidelity that this one had on a portable system. And sure enough, what was it? Who are these guys? Like Push Button? Panic Button. Yeah, Panic Button did such a stellar job at porting this very nice looking game onto the Switch. It was one of the first games that really flexed the Switch's capabilities, its muscles. Like everyone was like,
Oh man, I can't believe it's on Switch.
and sure enough, it looks great. It runs at 30 FPS, but it looks great. Just don't plug it into your TV. And then I beat it on Switch, funny enough, but not on PS4. I have the reversible cover. Oh no, never mind. This is the standard cover for the Switch, like the classic background, instead of like the Doom guy and the one that came out in what, 2016? Great game, great solid FPS. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Man, this remaster is the definition of a remaster. Never played the original, but I beat this one, and just like the visuals are so endearing. It really looks like you're playing in a toy diorama. It's super cool, really nice. Just really the visuals captivate you, and that's what kept me going. It's a pretty short game. It has some cool stuff, and the amiibo for it is just so darn cute. Good stuff. Good Zelda game here. Good Zelda game. This is a bit of an obscure title. I got Salt and Sanctuary, which is supposed to be a Souls-like, but it is a 2D platforming Souls-like. And it has a lot of emphasis on character customization and tweaking your stats and picking up different weapons. That sort of deal. It's supposed to be very hard, and with the same recover your experience mechanic before you die another time and fail to recover your experience. So it has that sort of Souls influence on it, and yeah, it's pretty obscure. I'm not sure how difficult it is to find this game, but it came with some doodads and gazoos. So yeah, maybe one day I'll stream it too. This seems like the type for a silly stream. We're gonna just blaze quickly by this game. I don't know why I got it. I just thought, like, I need a weirdo game on my Switch. So I made my wife buy it as well. I think it was like 30 bucks.
This is just a fighting game with girls in it.
And it's neat. I'm pretty sure Radical Reggie has like 10 different versions of this game on 10 different consoles. But yeah, it's a solid fighting game, I think. No, I retract that statement. It's just weird. SteamWorld Dig 2 by Rising Star Games, another nice publisher, I believe. SteamWorld Dig Part 2 gets a lot of praise from Metroidvania fans. I have Part 1 that came in that dual pack with Steam World Heist, which is a really cool turn-based 2D aim manually and take turns and use action point type games. But Steam World is a whole like little universe that these game developers have made, and Part 2 is supposed to be better than Part 1 and some good Metroidvania and exploration stuff here. Yes, Cat Quest. This is supposed to be a very surprisingly good top-down action-adventure game involving cats. Published by P-Cube. Those guys do some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I was like... my interest was piqued because they said it was kind of like Diablo-like, the top-down style and the action, and this particular copy is going to remain sealed because not too long after I got this, I heard that Cat Quest plus Cat Quest 2, the Possum Pack, came out. So, you know, I have 2 games on a single cartridge, and this one was back home, so it'll stay sealed, and I'll just play this one. But yeah, it's supposed to be pretty cool, so check it out if you like those sort of top-down Diablo-like games. Another infamous game that I tried getting into and then I got distracted by 10 million other games, Undertale. Yeah, heavily inspired by Earthbound. If you know that game, you know how quirky and silly and dark it is, but this is more the same. I know there's like what's part 2 called, like Beta Delta episode or something like that, Delta Quest, but that game is still in beta form. Not really sure. Again, Undertale, yeah, very unique combat system and a good narrative here. Lots of tongue-in-cheek humor involved. I'll get into this game someday. This came with a cool, like, old school Disney-like book. You see it with the gilded spine there. Yeah, good stuff. Love it. Here is Saints Row the Third, the full package. The reason why I got this game was that at the time the Switch did not have any sort of Grand Theft Auto-like games, and I heard this one was a very silly, over-the-top Grand Theft Auto, and sure enough it is. If I can find the picture of my created character, I will definitely put it on screen. Hide your kids.
Oh, Jesus!
It's so funny. It's like glitchy and rough around the edges, but I'm glad to have this. There's like a couple other Saints Row games that got ported over to the Switch as well, but I chose this one when it first came out, and it comes with all sorts of DLC on it. I do not know much about Aragami Shadow Edition. That includes Aragami Nightfall and Assassin's Mask. Merge? Ooh, I didn't know it was published by Merge because Merge does some really good stuff. I'm a big fan of them, so I'm sure this game will be pretty sweet. Cell-shaded stealth gameplay? Something like that? I don't know, this guy looks like a ninja, and this is quite the oriental title, so you can kind of get a feel for the game just by looking at the cover. Yeah, haven't played it yet. Penny Punching Princess by Nice America. These guys also publish some pretty good, obscure, but good stuff. This game is kind of strange. It's some sort of top-down action game where you beat up enemies and they fart out coins, and you collect the coins and you use the coins to calculate attacks or something weird, I forget. But I'm pretty sure this game has a nice little fan base that praises it every morning before going to church. Castle... Ha! Just kidding. I tricked you. It's Bloodstained. Curse of the Moon. This is part 1 and part of a saga that the creator of the Symphony of the Night, or the lead designer in Symphony of the Night, wants to create a spin-off of, like some sort of spiritual successor there, because we have Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon, and Bloodstained, I forget what the other one is called that I have on PS4. Yeah, this is part 1 by Limited Run Games, so it comes with some sort of stuff. This one's going to remain sealed because I had bought it digitally before it was announced to release physically. So I will never look at the manual, ever. So I'm kind of sad about that. And then consecutively, I picked up part 2. I do not have this one digitally, so I'll probably end up opening this one. Really cool retro-styled Castlevania-likes, really. That's essentially what they are, with multiple characters, and the game is very solid. Bunch of branching paths and all that good stuff. I highly recommend it if you like Castlevanias. The old school ones. Owlboy by Sodesco. Sodesco, yet another solid publisher. This is a very, very nice 16-bit retro adventure game. And you're Owlboy and you can fly around. The visuals are great. I played it for a short amount of time. It seems very silly. It has a nice sense of humor. Yeah, really, I recommend this game. Pick it up. I know a lot of people like it, and you will too. Octopath Traveler by Square Enix. Love the visuals. Love the visuals in this game. I like that it's a classic JRPG. I am highly anticipating Project Triangle Strategy, which is just, you know, I think it falls within the same universe as this game, at least in terms of the visuals, but it's supposed to be very, very similar to Final Fantasy Tactics. And Final Fantasy Tactics is an amazing 12 out of 10 game. So I'm looking forward to whenever that comes out. I think sometime this year. But here we had Octopath Traveler, which is more just a traditional JRPG. You're supposed to be able to pick between like these 8 different characters and live out their stories individually, and then they kind of convene and they compose your party. But I don't know if I'm doing it right, but the game seems very linear, and that's okay because the retro style games were linear as well. But I thought there was going to be a little bit more freedom in how to navigate the world map, since you have all these different characters. But I guess not. I got really into it, and then I abandoned it. Lo and behold, right? Yeah, if you like JRPGs, I think you'll love this game. Published by Square Enix, they knew what they were doing. I think we're approaching darker times for this publisher, and if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know. But yeah, Octopath Traveler. Then we got Mega Man Legacy Collection plus Lego Man. No, but Mega Man Legacy Collection 2. Unfortunately, it includes the game card with just the first Legacy Collection, and then the second is a download code, but I have those already saved on my Switch in case that little code expires at some point before I get to open the cellophane. So 10 mega classics. You know, the first Legacy Collection includes 1 through 6, and the second one 7 through 10, which are the Super Nintendo iterations, which are a little bit different. And along with this, I have the Mega Man Legacy X Collection, or Mega Man X Legacy Collection plus Mega Man X Legacy Collection 2, and same treatment for the download code for the second on this game. Unfortunately, have that downloaded as well. The first collection includes X through X4, and the second X5 through X8. With some new features and some like gallery modes in these games, some nice little fan service for all you Mega Man fans out there. Alrighty, we're down to 2 games, so I will kind of, sort of, before I do that, just say, let me just put it out there that I also have Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection. And this game, these are the DS games, if I'm not mistaken, are phenomenal. They're so awesome. Try and get this Legacy Collection. Alright, so 2 more games. We got Cave Story Plus, from published by Nicalis. This is just a very iconic indie game. It kind of set the stage for a bunch of indie games to just happen, basically. This kind of set the precedent for quality in terms of indie games, not these AAA publishers or anything like that, or giant studios. This game is just very, I believe it's 8-bit of sorts, and pseudo 8-bit, 16-bit. This game is very famous, and a lot of people played it. Oh, this also comes with a little mini disc and some a shiny instruction booklet. But yeah, it's a Metroidvania of sorts, and you're the little dude with a gun and you shoot stuff. And last, and probably least, don't hate me, it's ARMS. Aw, another gift by my beautiful wife. And I got the neon yellow Joy-Cons that, you know, kind of launched alongside of this game to kind of follow the color scheme going on here. This was supposed to be, well, it was a new IP for Nintendo. They were trying to repeat what Splatoon did, I think, but this is more of an arena fighting game, one-on-one with, well, you can have more characters on the arena, but the core game is a one-on-one battle of characters with springy arms, extendable arms, and you kind of control with motion base, and you can twist and that sort of weird stuff. So I don't know, it didn't really gain as much traction. No plans on a sequel, I don't think, for this game, so it kind of missed its mark, but still very charming, has that Nintendo polish to it. I'm happy to add this to my collection because, of course, it's a first-party title, so I need to grab all of those and add them to my collection. Not much else to say about it. Min Min got thrown into, this isn't Min Min, but she got thrown into Smash just to throw this franchise a bone, to kind of acknowledge that it still exists. She's in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But anyways, wow, this was a longer video than I expected. At some point, I will upload a full Nintendo Switch collection, and that one's probably going to be like 5 hours long because I just don't stop buying games for this beautiful console. I really like my Nintendo Switch, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, these are games that I hadn't seen for about 2 years until my mom brought them from back home. I'm really happy to have my entire Switch collection reunited, and now it's time to buy a bunch of shelves. Okay, bye.